We go to Baton Rouge, where another fan base may be out on a coach after this game. This is a back against the wall game for both teams, which is weird because one of them has 2 losses and one of them has 1. Like South Carolina going to LSU. LSU's a 9.5-point favorite. South Carolina's back is truly against the wall. This is a season that the Gamecocks started with playoff aspirations. If they lose this game, those are dead. In, the second week of October, dead. Never coming back. LSU could lose and still be in the mix. But if they did lose, I do believe the fan base would completely lose faith.
Yeah. So you're telling me that LSU is donating multiple scores to an opponent in a football game? And I was redundant on purpose that time.
I agree. I didn't correct you because I knew you were trying to make a point here. 9.5. When I saw that line, my eyes bugged out.
Now, I don't know if this is one of those games where it's like everybody's going to take the points because it's a lot of points and LSU's offense is struggling. And then they just come out and figure it out and then everyone's wrong because that happens from time to time.
It definitely does.
But
like I'd say the LSU Ole Miss game was a good example of that last year, not the one that just happened, but the one last year in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, but it does seem like an excessively large spread, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And so I don't know what to think about this one, but I will say a stat that concerns me for LSU is so Ole Miss struggled to run the ball against Kentucky. No, I'm mixing it up. Kentucky and Arkansas ran the ball effectively on Ole Miss. That's where I'm going with this. Kentucky and Arkansas ran the ball effectively on Ole Miss, and LSU could not. That's troubling. If Kentucky can do it, you should be able to do it. If Arkansas can do it, you should be able to do it. So we have seen a team run the ball effectively on South Carolina, and that was Missouri. Missouri averaged 6 yards a carry against South Carolina. Vanderbilt averaged 4 yards a carry and dominated that game. But I wouldn't say it was just because of the way they ran the ball. But Missouri showed you can very effectively run on South Carolina's defense. I'm not sure LSU's capable of it. And if LSU's not, if you can run on South Carolina's defense, that eliminates or reduces the possibility of Dylan Stewart taking your quarterback's head off.
Which weakness are you more willing to forgive? South Carolina's rush defense or LSU's inability to move the ball on the ground?
Against LSU, South Carolina's rush defense. Because one, since Joe Sloan's been the offensive coordinator, LSU has never really tried to establish the run, and they've abandoned it too early every time. And two, I'm not sure it's there. I'm not sure they have it. So I worry if they can't run the ball effectively, what that means for Garrett Nussmeier, because again, Dylan Stewart is a freaking alien. You do not want him knowing you're going to throw almost every play.
In the fear of ruffling some feathers, as I've been known to do, we have spent a lot of time this year analyzing our off-season quarterback rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a few other quarterbacks that were on those rankings that aren't having great years. And they're both in this game.
Yes.
Let's stick in on South Carolina for a second. LaNorris Sellers, we thought, might be up there in the Lagway conversation. The whole offseason was Lagway versus Sellers. Who's going to be that guy?
and it was now it's Lagway versus Sellers. Who's disappointed you more?
Has LaNorris Sellers disappointed at the same rate? And are you hopeful that he can find something, or like
he's having a much better season than DJ Lagway? I mean, he's averaging 10.2 yards an attempt, and it's not like that was all against the bad teams they played. Like he was efficient against Vanderbilt, got knocked out of the game. He was efficient against Missouri in a loss, but Missouri, like we said, controlled the ball on the ground. I think LaNorris Sellers is probably going to show up and do fine. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball on LSU. Like this is a very good LSU defense, and I do think they can probably goad LaNorris Sellers into some mistakes. Now, he's only thrown one pick this year, but if they can knock the ball loose, force a couple interceptions, all of a sudden it's a very different game. And we've seen that. Like we saw LSU intercept DJ Lagway 5 times, and that's why they won that game. I mean, they only scored 13 points on offense against Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. Too many points, Andy. But you want to do Garrett Nussmeier now?
Let's do Garrett Nussmeier.
Is he injured? Is he not injured? The fact that we have to have this discussion all year about how injured he is?
I think they've said it now. I mean, Brian Kelly's admitted it, that he's hurt.
Yeah.
So the question is, how bad is he hurt and how much is it affecting what he can do?
Yeah. All these quarterbacks. It's like Clemson, Penn State, and Texas are all out of the top 25, and all of the best quarterbacks in the country aren't playing like it.
Yeah.
And I wonder which one of the quarterbacks in this game has a chance to elevate their team. And I think a lot of it is going to have to do with which team can run the ball well. And I don't know which team I think I'm more likely that will run the ball.
One more stat, by the way, that I will throw out to you that Brian Kelly threw out when he got mad getting asked about the run game. Under Brian Kelly, they're 13-1 in Death Valley at night. They're playing in Death Valley at night. The only loss is that Alabama game last year. So they show up. The fans sure as hell show up. I would think that does play a factor.
That would move me if we were picking the game straight up.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, it definitely favors LSU winning straight up. But yes, we're talking about 9.5 freaking points.
Yeah, I'll take the 9.5. And, I'll LSU might have me beat, but the river's there. I feel pretty good about my hand, and I'm calling to see it.
Well, and the thing is, this is a very different conversation. We're doing a picking against the spread show, and LSU covering the spread does not matter as long as they win in terms of are they out on Brian Kelly. South Carolina has to win this game. This is a must win for South Carolina, or the season they thought they could have is over, and then they have to recalibrate their goals.
Yep.
That is the issue. So I don't know. This is going to be a tough situation. Man, this is a hard one to pick if it's straight up. This is a very easy one to pick with this spread. I will take South Carolina plus all of those points. That is so many freaking points, Ari. What's the trick here? What's the trap? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Because I definitely feel like there's something amiss. And maybe it is. Maybe it's as simple as this is the game that Garrett Nussmeier feels great, gets unlocked, slings it around, and throws for 400 yards. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all it is. But
I mean, think
it
about
just doesn't make sense.
How many times during a college football Saturday you're watching games and going, what is going on here? Was it like 7 times a day?
It was a lot last week for sure.
Yeah. So it's really hard to pick these because surprises happen.
Harder for you than me, apparently.
It is. It's been a really rough year for me, both emotionally, spiritually, and financially, if you really want to get down to it. Because Andy gets over here with his sexy record. I'm losing money. I'm just glad we didn't count the Q record last year. I don't know how we didn't, and I'm sorry about that. We failed you as a podcast, but my record was terrible last year. So yeah, I did pretty good last year. I made money last year.